All right. This is Sherman Ray, and this is the Livin in Vegas podcast. Let's get this thing started. Well, good morning, everybody. This is Sherman Ray, and this is the Livin in Vegas podcast. We come to you each and every day, folks, Monday through Friday, to talk to you about the people, the places, the trends, the events that make Las Vegas the world mecca that it is. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great day today. I know I am. I had a great weekend. Had a lot of stuff to talk to you about that happened this weekend. And unfortunately, this morning, I don't have any coffee. Many of you know this. I am a coffee roaster. I've been roasting coffee for over 10 years now, professionally at the restaurant that I owned, and then the last couple of years on my own. And this weekend, I forgot to roast coffee. My wife looked at me with that look, and she says, "You know, there's only a couple of grounds for divorce in the Middle East." Yeah, which means that it's pretty important that you provide coffee to your wife on a weekly basis. And I did not do that, and I really feel bad because I'm going to roast after the show today. So hopefully this was NASCAR weekend. We're going to talk a little bit about NASCAR. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the cool stuff. There's some great stuff coming up this weekend also. I mean, tons of stuff happened this weekend right here in Vegas. Half the stuff I didn't even see on the news. Half the stuff was stuff I saw and was a part of. So let's talk a little bit. Let's talk about Livin in Vegas magazine. This magazine, this first issue of Livin in Vegas magazine. Boy, I've got a flashy light here. It's a weird flashy light. This issue of Livin in Vegas magazine, we're actually working on the April issue already. And so I want you to make sure you get this one, folks, because we're coming out with the new issue here in another month or so, a little over a month, about 6 weeks or so. But there's still some great stuff in the premiere edition of Livin in Vegas magazine. So you notice I said the word premiere, right? And so the reason why I say it is because guess what? This is a collector's item. Once this one's out, it is actually going to go in the archives. And we just want to encourage you folks, kind of like when you're getting a rookie card for, a baseball team or something like that. You want to keep that rookie card. Just saying. I don't want to put more on it than it is, but it is our rookie season card. Also, you can actually, if you don't have this edition of it, I encourage you to go to our website, which is livininvegas.com. It's livininvegas.com. And you can get the PDF download of this issue. Okay, the PDF issue of it. Or if you let's say you're one of those folks that say, "Hey, look, sure, I'm just so busy. Can you email it to me? Can you get it on my phone?" Well, of course, and send me an email. Just send it to info@livininvegas.com. That's info@livininvegas.com, and you can actually get that sent right to your door. As a matter of fact, we do it every morning. We send updates called Livin in Vegas News every morning to our mailing list. And excuse me. I don't know what. Now, this morning I shouldn't be yawning because I went out riding this morning, as many of you know. I'll tell you about that in just a second, but it was just frigid this morning. So if you would like me to email you, get on our email list. You can get updates. We're going to be changing those even more. We'll be sending out even more information for you to check out about Las Vegas. Definitely get on our mailing list at info@livininvegas.com. Also, we're having a mixer coming up, folks, and it's our April mixer. So I know some of you are saying, "Hey, Sherm, I thought you guys were having a mixer, every other week." Well, unfortunately, the third Thursday of this month is actually St. Patrick's Day, so we're not going to be doing that. It would be crazy. But we moved it back, so we're going to have our event April 7th over at the Horse Trailer Hideout. 1506 South Main Street. It's in beautiful downtown Las Vegas. Um, so that's the happy hour. And once again, co-sponsored by our friends over at Beers with Friends, the Horse Trailer Hideout, and Livin in Vegas magazine. So we encourage you to come on out there and join us. It starts about 5:30 to about 7 o'clock. We always go run late over at those events. And it's just crazy where the amount of stuff that happens, and it's just so much stuff. It really is. It's just crazy. Well, folks, I hope you were able to watch the NASCAR. It was NASCAR weekend, folks, here in Las Vegas, and it was probably one of the most epic finishes that you're going to see in a NASCAR finish. I don't have the video for you right now, but Alex Bowman won in a shootout. Basically, it lasted with two laps to go. Now, I'll tell you, I was really rooting for Kyle Larson. Excuse me. Excuse me. Kyle Busch. Larson. I was really rooting for Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch. Now, this is the interesting thing about it. Kyle Busch was riding in a backup car. So he was in his backup car, and he went from last to first. And this guy he's a rock star racer, and looked like he was going to win it. I mean, you could see in the last, what do they call it? Staging session, stage of the race. Kyle basically got in, and he was just basically cruising because he had the faster car. Looked like he was just going to get ready to win. But with 2 laps to go, there was a wreck. And it went into an overtime battle. And so this was terrible. Eric Johnson, or Eric Jones, excuse me, lost control of his car with 3 laps to go in the race, crashed, and Bubba Wallace almost got him, and Bubba went into the wall, and everybody basically had to go in for a pit. So now what's going to happen? NASCAR says, look, we're going to do a shootout. This is it. These last 2 laps, this is it. And unfortunately, you went from Hendrick's Motor racing cars to, the swapping of cars in their position was ridiculous. I just got to tell you, I don't know. Hendrick's Racing was out in front, folks, and they ended up losing. So, I don't know. No, excuse me. And Hendricks ended up winning, but they weren't there. They weren't there, and sometimes these things happen. I mean, they just happen. So, anyways, what else? Oh, it was Gibbs Racing. Sorry. So let's talk about. There was actually a really cool. Before we get into that, let's talk about gas prices here, folks. So gas prices here in the valley. Boy, I wish they were there. I picked up this video. This graphic here last week, and it was last weekend. It was Friday that I picked up that graphic. That graphic is obsolete now because gas prices are really closing in on $5 a gallon, and so it's getting to the point where people are getting kind of a little pissy, and there's really no reason why, and it's because of partially because of some policy changes, and partially because of the war in Ukraine with the Russians invading Ukraine. So it's crazy. Okay, all right. So let me tell you what happened here, folks. Let me tell you what's going on here with my yawning and stuff. I got up early this morning. Once again, I always do that. I get up really early in the morning, and I got riding. This morning, the weather was 40-something degrees, 41, 42 degrees, and then, 41, 42 degrees, but the wind chill but there was a wind speed of 15 miles an hour, which means I had a headwind hitting me at 15 miles an hour as I was going out. Coming back, it was a much better ride. So I come back in, folks, and I'm like freezing to death. I'm just freezing. I'm still freezing right now. Many of you can see I'm actually wearing a shirt under my shirt because I'm freezing, even though I don't I shouldn't be, but it's just freezing, and freezing brings upon you, that you start yawning, that kind of stuff. So I'm not tired. I really am not tired, folks. It's just sometimes I'm just get just cold, and what are you gonna do? Um, the folks over at Caesar's Palace says that they are going to extend their partnership with the Vegas Golden Knights. We got a story on them coming up later. In a press statement, many of you know that the folks over at Caesar's Palace have been working with the Golden Knights, and they're the official sponsor of the Golden Knights. And so they said they're going to extend their partnership with the Vegas Golden Knights Learn to Play programs, as well as presenting partnerships with the Golden Bells. So that's pretty cool that they're actually going to be working with them a lot more. And so we're very excited about the Golden Knights and their partnership with Caesar's Palace. There was an event this weekend, and many of you have probably never heard about it, and it was called Walk for Friendship. It was the nonprofit, the Friendship Circle Las Vegas, hosted the event to help raise awareness and resources to create a more inclusive community in Las Vegas for those with disabilities, which is very cool. So I guess Governor Sisolak actually showed up at the event and to support the event. It was a 1 mile walk, and a lot of people were hugging and kissing. They also had a carnival there at the end of the day. And one of the cool things about this, folks, is that there's a lot of people who have disabilities, and they go through times of sadness, and they need people to come alongside of them. This nonprofit was actually started to help those folks here in the valley, so we're very excited about that. That they were able to help those folks out in a time of need. All right, so Vegas Golden Knights folks played against the Ottawa. Who was Ottawa? Gosh, I never remember these guys' names. I really should probably. Ottawa Senators. I don't know why I never remember their names. So Jack Eichel. I think that more important than that, Jack Eichel, folks, the new guy. So we just brought Jack Eichel on to the Vegas Golden Knights about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and he finally paid off. He scored the winning goal. It was actually 5.2 seconds to go in the game, and it was just a back and forth thing. For most of the game, Jonathan Marchessault scored. Robin Lerner turned away 39 shots on goal, and only one person on the Ottawa Senators scored. So that was pretty cool. And their goalie had 40 saves. But the Vegas Golden Knights were able to win that game 2-1, which is great. Now they're going on the road, so they're going to be going on the road for quite a while. So you're not going to see them over the T-Mobile for a little bit. So but we'll be keeping them in prayer because they've got a lot of things to do, and it's going to be a pretty cool thing. I don't know if you guys heard about these guys. They're called the Haas Brothers, or the Haas Brothers. And this is actually very cool. Yes, if you're looking at those, the way I first saw this, I'm going, oh my gosh, what is that? This is an exhibit over at the Jewel in the downtown district. So the Jewel is where I think it's on 3rd Street. It's on 3rd Street and Bonneville. If you go down Bonneville, just keep going down Bonneville before you hit 3rd Street. It's on the right-hand side. These guys, these brothers, they put together some really ingenuitive stuff. So people that linked up together, New York galleryist Marianne Boski, teaming up with indispensable local art consultant Michelle Quinn, teamed up with these brothers, Simon and Nikolai Haas, to bring this show. And more than a show, folks, this is really more of a just kind of an expose on creativity. These guys came out of Texas, and then they went to L.A. and they said, "Hey, we it was a they were able to go to L.A., a place that was in the middle of the desert, and express themselves, and they say that their ideas and their inspiration brought about these. I'm going to put this back up here again because I thought it was really just kind of interesting. Um, Interesting sculptures they've got up here. They say that most of their menagerie are beasts made largely from cast bronze, synthetic fur, porcelain, and electric components. And it's less gallery show than a rescue team. And so they take all kinds of neat stuff. I don't know, take a real close look at some of this stuff. And it is just incredible the amount of work that goes into this stuff. So they're going to be down there. I think they'll be in that area through the 25th. So you can go down there to the Jewel building and check that out. As a matter of fact, our event that we did in downtown, we went to Neon Desert. And Neon Desert is right across from the new building called the English. And we were able to check that out. A lot of new stuff going in downtown, and I think we're going to be doing a lot more reporting on it as we continue. We're kind of going around to, I have it right here, as we're going around to some of these breweries that are downtown. Just very cool. I mean, just very cool thing. And as a matter of fact, when you're down there, grab your passport. Okay, and many of you have seen this. I'm going to put this up there. It's your Nevada Craft Beverage passport. And you can check that out and be sure that you go, when you go down there, that you're able to, I'm sorry, I can't see. Make sure that you're able to see and support local breweries downtown. And so this is very cool. Once again, I showed you a little bit of it last time. But they have specials, $1 off a glass of beer, mead. Some of them are up in Reno. Actually, quite a few of them are in Reno. Okay, Seven Troughs Distilling is up in Reno, Carson City, and a lot of them down here in the Boulder Dam Brewing Company. Very cool. And so there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can check out and definitely fill up your craft beverage passport. I should go out there. Okay, ask for it. Ask for it by name. And tell them Sherman sent you. Right? Tell them Sherman sent you. Let's talk a little bit about the UNLV Symphony. So the UNLV Symphony is putting on a concert dedicated to the people of Ukraine. They're going to be, if you've never been out to Artemis Ham Hall, I've spent a lot of time out there. When I was going to UNLV, we did a lot of stuff. I was a music major when I went there. Changed my major after dropping out. Became an education major and a psychology major. But over at Artemis Ham Hall, starting on Sunday. Oh, excuse me. No, it's going to be the concert's actually going to be on Sunday, March 27th, 3 p.m. It will. It's going to be very cool, folks. So the program will include a memorial to Lidisi or Lidice. I'm going to destroy these names, so I won't even try to say them any. Tickets are $15. Discounted tickets, of course, available for seniors like me. Yes. And UNLV staff and students. I'm very excited about this. I'm excited to be a senior now, folks. So there's a time in your life, I guess, where you don't want to be a senior. There's a time when you do want to be a senior. You want to be a senior when you're going to school. Okay, when you're going to school, you want to be a senior because you can walk around. And then when you become an adult, you go, I don't want to be a senior because that means I'm getting old. Until you get to the point where you get these discounts. Then you want to be a senior again, right? So going out to UNLV, we'll actually leave links to this on our website at livininvegas.com. So you can go to our website at livininvegas.com. You can actually get the links to all of this cool stuff that's going to be out there. So there's candidates. Many of you know this. We're in an election year, and because we don't do political stuff in particular, that's another life, another jacket I wear. But we do talk about some of the things that are going on in Vegas. And candidate filing begins Monday. It begins today. It'll go through the 18th. And you'll see people, excuse excuse me, if you, let's say you want to run for office, the election department accepts candidate filings from 8 to 5 on weekdays in the Pueblo Room, located on the first floor of the Clark County Government Center, downtown Las Vegas. So everybody's going to be filing for office. So you're going to have people, state assembly, state senate, district offices, and judicial positions in our great place. Also, you're going to have people running for Secretary of State. I got a lot of friends running, folks. I mean, a lot of friends. I'm actually going to be meeting. So we're not going to be talking about, politics here today, but we're just letting you know there are people running. The primaries will begin June 19th, and early voting May 28th to June 10th. And once again, we will put this information on our website at livininvegas.com, where you can get more information about candidate filing and stuff like that. So you really need to pay attention to this, folks. It's probably one of the most important things that we could actually see in our valley. Really could be. Well, folks, over at the Stratosphere, they're actually having a hiring job fair, and the Strat is looking to fill various positions. Event starts Tuesday, which is tomorrow, through and Thursday, March 10th, from 1 to 4 p.m. inside casino's former buffet area. So, employers will be offering on-the-spot interviews, hiring opportunities in various categories such as food and beverage, security, and naming. So you want to check that out. Also, some things that are going on, which we never mentioned, folks. The Mint 400, and some of you probably remember the Mint 400. The Mint 400 is an annual event here in Las Vegas, and it is going to be. They're going to be doing some closing off some areas down near Jean, Nevada, pretty quick. I don't know exactly the exact date of that. We'll find that out, and you can actually get updates on that on our website. We'll actually put that on our website also for the Mint 400. Off-road racing at its best. It is something that I enjoyed as a kid immensely. I've been out to several Mint 400s. At the time, they used to race in northern Nevada, northern Nevada, in the northern part of Las Vegas, in the desert out, in the northern part of the valley. And since then, they've actually closed that off, and now it's the southern end of the valley. And they used to have they used to do tech inspections. They drive down the middle of Fremont Street, line up the cars, and we used to it was such a fun time. It really was. So we're going to we'll do some more reporting on that, give you the exact dates and times on that. The same thing with March Madness. So March Madness is coming up, and for those of you who don't know what March Madness is, that's basketball, folks. That's college basketball at its best, and that is going to be huge here in the Valley. We've got a lot of stuff going on this weekend, along with the Academy of Country Music. They're going to be over at the the Allegiant Stadium. They're kicking the Raiders out for the weekend, and they're going to be doing that. Dolly Parton is going to be in town, and she's going to be singing Jolene, Jolene. No, so she'll be in town. A lot of people are going to be in town for this weekend for the ACM Awards, which will be just epic. And so we'll leave a link to that also. Didn't have time to put up the graphic for it, but the Academy, the Country Music Award folks, they're going to be there this weekend, so it'll be amazing. Also, this weekend we had the UFC fights, and Masvidal fought against. Oh gosh, who did he fight against? I was watching this fight. Oh my gosh, what a crazy. Las Vegas, by far, has some of the most epic sporting events in the world. I don't think people realize how much sports we actually have here until all of a sudden the Raiders came here and you got to see, the Raiders and the Vegas Golden Knights and the Las Vegas Aces, and now we're gonna have even more stuff that's going to be coming online. So, it was a crazy weekend for the UFC. Big lineup. They fought here in the city that never sleeps. Also, this weekend, I went to a couple of shows this weekend, or I shouldn't I say one show and one got to hear a speaker speak over at a local area church. So the first show I saw though was the Skivvies. So the Skivvies I saw over at the where was it? The Smith Center. So we were over at the Smith Center. My wife and I went over there. Thank you, Linda McKnight, for inviting us over there. She's a really close friend of ours, and she invited us to see the Skivvies, and we got to sit. I didn't. I don't have the pictures with me. I wish I did. So the Skivvies show is. I know you're thinking, what does this mean, the Skivvies? Yes, it's exactly what you're thinking, folks. They're people dressed down in their BVDs, but it was more than that. Very talented folks, not just talented, very talented folks, were playing in their underwear. And there was a girl, four guys, and then they had several guest singers who came on who sang. They were also wearing their underwear. One guy actually had his underwear with a mask over his front part, which was his homage to the coronavirus, I guess. So, good show that we saw over at the Smith Center. I hope you get a chance to go out there. There's going to be a lot more shows coming out there. A lot of shows going out at the Smith Center. Also, we got to see Derek Carr this weekend. So Derek Carr, of course, is the quarterback for the the Las Vegas Raiders. Oop, I almost screwed up on that. He was over at the Crossings Church, Las Vegas, which is the south end of the valley. Charismatic, funny, serious, inspiring, all of that, all in one package. So Derek Carr, once again, has now got my heart. I am officially now a Raiders fan just because of Derek Carr. Really, it's just because Derek Carr. He's a great guy, and he said some things that just pricked my heart, which was great. So, we just want to encourage that. I don't have much time here. Oh, gosh. So I will leave a couple of stories for tomorrow because they can wait. But one other story, UNLV played this weekend, and UNLV played against New Mexico. And so I got to definitely tell you about UNLV because they're my team. So UNLV beat New Mexico 76-67. Yes, they did. They were in Albuquerque. Jalen Rose tossed in 27 points. Jamal Mashburn, 27, scored 21 to lead New Mexico past UNLV. Sorry. UNLV lost 76-67 on Saturday night. So, unfortunately, Bryce Hamilton still scored a lot of points, and UNLV is finishing out its season, folks. It's just it's kind of a shame, but it's all right. So the Lobos even the series against UNLV. UNLV beat the Lobos early on, 85-56 in January. So it's all right. So they got a little bit of payback, but it's all right. We'll bounce back next year to actually do some very cool things to beat them in the year coming up. Do I have time for one more? Yeah. I don't. I don't have time. I just don't have time for another story. I wish I could. I don't have enough time. So anyways, let me remind you folks, we do have an event coming up. It's our April mixer. It's called The Happy Hour. It's going to be over at the Horse Trailer Hideout, which is a brewery in downtown Las Vegas, 1506 South Main Street. April 7th, 5:30 to 7 o'clock in downtown Las Vegas. Definitely, we will leave links to that in our below us here in our show notes, and you can actually check that out, folks. And it's free. It's for business owners who really just love to get out there and get back into the game. So we encourage you to be a part of that and to register for that event. We also encourage you to go to our website. We're going to be doing a lot more stuff, posting stuff to our website. And if you want to get a lot of these updates, folks, just go to our website at livininvegas.com. That's livininvegas.com. You can get all of this stuff and much, much more. Also, we're coming up on the deadline if you would like to get an ad in our magazine, which is Livin in Vegas magazine. So if you want to get an ad in our magazine, folks, I encourage you, do not wait. Okay, don't wait. The deadline is coming up. Contact us as quickly as possible, and you can do that. Just all you got to do is send me an email at info@livininvegas.com. That's info@livininvegas.com. You can get into our magazine, Livin in Vegas magazine. Okay, so don't wait. Just don't wait anymore. Okay. Anyways, we will be back again tomorrow for another thrill-packed Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm your host, Sherman Ray. We will see you again tomorrow for Livin in Vegas podcast, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.